Good morning. I bring you here today after a bit of a meditation before I go and do a workout this morning. And it's been a while since I've done a video, just simply because I think we go through these cycles, and they say like the Fibonacci sequence is like basically it's a spiral, and that we're constantly going through these cycles in life, and we keep going through mini versions. And I've just done that recently, and with my own, it was just another thing, another word, another situation I was personally going through, which was nothing to do with anyone else. It was more to do with understanding myself and understanding, which ultimately helps me understand other people then, because by understanding yourself, that's when you truly understand everyone else. It's such a paradox, isn't it, which I've mentioned before, that actually the world, like, you think you've got to kind of really focus on everyone else outwardly to understand everyone, and of course that isn't the case. It's by focusing on yourself and understanding yourself, you then begin to understand everyone else, because you recognise traits in other people that you possibly could have. And if you don't recognise traits, then it's possibly because you don't have them yourself. So yes, I do digress. So today I wanted to address the issue of rejection and rejection issues. And rejection, by definition, is the refusal of a proposal or an idea. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, I've had it in my mind, and I've mentioned this video to a few people for months and months and months, because I think it was like last November. What it was it started off with a rejection of a client, and then a rejection of a plan with a friend, and then a rejection of another plan, and then a rejection of I think I'd got back on a Sunday morning. I had plans that day, and then someone was just like, "Oh, if you've been out, then I'd rather not see you." And I'm like, okay. And do you know that's one thing I've written down is that that isn't their fault, and not at any point was ever blaming the client, the friend, the ex, or the other person that sort of cancelled or let down, because they will have things going on in their life. But there's something in my subconscious that takes it very personally. And what I do then is I self-sabotage, and I have this almost like this vocabulary in my head. I'm smart enough to know what I'm meant to be feeling, but what I'm feeling is what I'm feeling, and I really have to run with that. And what I've done over these past few months, 6 months, 12 months, 8 months, I'm not quite sure actually how long it's been, but what I've been doing is sitting with those feelings and trying to label them, which is what mindfulness is about, really trying to label them and trying to understand each thing that I'm feeling. And I would feel anger, and I would feel sadness, and I would feel these different types of feelings that actually are nothing to do with anyone else. They're to do with me and what I've got going on and what I've had going on. And I think in terms of rejection, I think I was just petrified of being rejected when I was younger. I think there was other things going on. My parents split up when I was around about 3 or 4, I want to say. I vaguely remember it, funnily enough. But you never think these things affect you. But I don't know whether it's to do with my dad going, but who my dad's a great person. He's there. He has been since we were children. But and maybe my mom's struggling to deal with it, and her possibly needing to sort of give herself space and that, and thus as a needy child, I suppose I was feeling rejected. Again, no one's fault. As an adult, I have to understand this and go through it myself to understand my well-being and my mindset. So in terms of rejection, I think the word rejection sounds quite harsh in itself. It's almost like, so basically, I'm saying just from someone cancelling their plans or from a client cancelling an appointment, I'm almost feeling rejected. Rejected, God, that's such a harsh term or harsh sound to be using for actually something that isn't a big deal. And this is this is what I had to come to terms with. So I could sit here and say it's not a big deal, because what I would then do is I would give myself this vocabulary and this script of almost like, they don't want you, you're not good enough. That's the one, you're not good enough. I think I've kind of said that to myself all my life, and now I'm at a place where I'm like, of course it creeps in every now and then, but now I'm at a place where I'm saying to myself, not only are you good enough, you are whole, you're one, you are everything you need, and anyone that comes into your life is a blessing and an addition. So yeah, I think sometimes what I'm doing now is when I feel these feelings, I'm going, oh, that's just your rejection issue. And how powerful is that? How powerful is that to be able to go, this, oh, there it is. So watch what happens now, David. Watch what's going on. Watch what you're about to do or not about to do, and kind of hold back on that and maybe channel it into something positive, which recently, my friends have noticed this. I've been training a lot more and switching my training just to keep me energized and channel that self-sabotaging vocabulary into something that I then go use this energy, push this energy. Recently there was a bereavement within the family, and there was two things. Could have just sat and mulled over it, or I went for a run. And I was saying to my sister the other day, I went for this run. And on the run, I put my phone under my cushion in my room, and I just went for this run. And on that run, I thought about what I needed to say, what I needed to do. I rationalised my own feelings, whether they were extreme or not. I needed to come to terms with them. And that was really important. So yeah, when these feelings pop up, these negative feelings, because it isn't just rejection issues I've got, maybe abandonment issues, maybe I can be quite insecure. I have a fear of not fitting in. All these are things that I've got, and all these are things that I address daily. Sometimes to a lesser extent than others. I think it just stems back to when I was a child, really, and it was like, I think being gay, and also I think being spiritual and kind of believing in other things that that a lot of people didn't. I think that can be quite a hard thing to try and deal with on your own, because I liked that as well. I'm a bit stubborn. I like to deal with things on my own, and it was always on my school reports. Doesn't ask for help, so I think that's where it stems back to, if I'm honest. And I think why I felt this way recently was, I was feeling rejected by partners, by dates, by friends, and no one was rejecting me. Everyone's just living their life and doing what they need and they want to do for them and their well-being. And it's my issue, absolutely my issue. And it's quite. I'm laughing now because it's like that laughter is cathartic, and it's your subconscious going, "Oh, there you are. You've dealt with it. Oh, dealing with it. You'll always be dealing with stuff." And that's another thing as well. You will always be dealing with these things. It's like, and don't be disheartened by that, because the fact that you recognise and know it, that's powerful. Like I say, powerful, and that in itself is enough to accept it. It's ironic, really. You accept it by accepting that you'll never get rid of it. That it will always be there, but it's there as a trigger and can be there as a power. And through some of my work, I've realised getting over your weaknesses in life actually makes them your biggest strength. And that, again, that's quite powerful again, and realising that as I'm saying it out loud to you now, and that's what these videos are. They are my own ideas. They are my own concepts, thought processes. They are nothing out of a textbook. They're nothing or the only thing I research on these videos is the definition. And these are my opinions, and what I'm feeling at this time. So you don't have to take it as gospel. It's just how I am. And I think another part of my personality trait is I will, anyone will tell you this, I'll turn up to anything, turn up to the opening of an envelope. And I've realised why this is, and it's because I wouldn't want anyone to. And honestly, I'm always early, and I'm trying to be more on time now as opposed to being early, just to understand my own boundaries. I like to test myself all the time, and I think I turn up to everything because I think it's that fear of someone else feeling rejected. And I think it was Robin Williams that said, you wouldn't want anyone to feel as worthless as what he did, or something along those lines. The quote's all over the internet. And I think that's what it is. I wouldn't want anyone to feel rejected, because I wouldn't want to feel rejected, and I would hope they would sort of act the same way to me. But again, that's my issue and not theirs. And yeah, massively, I think that that's a trait I follow through on everything. And I quite admire that I've got that trait, because I like people to know that I care about how they're feeling. So therefore, me turning up, being on time, being punctual, I want, even if it isn't important to them, it's important to me for them. And it's time is a gift, and I gift my time to those people. So yes, on that note, those 10 minutes are well and truly up. I'm surrounded by crystals. The sun is shining, as that it always seems to do on these videos. And I will hopefully come up with another one soon, as these are another form of meditation and another form of mindfulness that I like. I'm very vocal, and I get a lot of mindfulness from vocalising how I'm feeling. So yeah, on that note, I bid thee farewell, and I hope this has reached out to you in one way or another. And if it hasn't, then maybe one of my future videos will. So see you soon, bye.